Hello. So here I have the prints from my last photo shoot with Kevin, which was in fact the second photo shoot I'd ever been on. Wow. I would not have guessed that it would turn out this way. But that's...
Can we see it?
Yeah, can you see it from there? Yeah, that was a fun area with the little couch thing. There's so much going on in this picture. It's not clear what my expression is in this picture, just my facial expression. But, man, the pose is really cool. Here's another one by the cross. Reaching out.
What do you remember about that photo session, that moment?
Well, the first thing I thought when I saw this is I was remembering you telling me, let's go a little less religious, even though I was still right in front of a cross. I mean, obviously the light coming down here makes it look like, I'm reaching out towards some godly figure. I really enjoyed that. I mean, I was brought up Catholic, and I was Catholic until I was about 15. And then I realized that there are other people in the world who believed just as strongly, if not more than me, in something completely different. And I thought to myself, what makes my belief more correct than theirs, I'm someone who believes in democracy, and generally, I believe that the masses can find the truth better than myself, most likely. Of course, sometimes I might be right and them not, but anyway. But despite having given up religion, I still have very strong ties to it, and I still feel, I still find myself moved when I go into a church or, am around people who are praying. It still has that spiritual element to it, even if I don't believe in God. And it's a very peaceful, it's very calming. I still can go to a church when I'm unhappy and feel calmed and soothed and like someone is watching over me, even if I don't believe. Even if my cynical, mathematician self doesn't actually believe that anyone is watching, it still feels that way. So, anyway, the next photograph. Well, I'm not sure I would have picked this one, personally. It's certainly interesting, but what my facial expression is very strange. It looks like I'm trying to act, but I'm smiling because I think it's funny. It's hard to... One thing is I have to take myself seriously when I'm doing these pictures. And once in a while, it makes me want to laugh, the poses I'm doing, the acting I'm trying to do. But this one is beautiful. I like the way this scene, you know, you don't know what is this structure that I'm in, and what is this other structure, this wall behind, this graffiti. Like, it looks like something you set up in an art studio, but it was found in nature, you know. It's very cool. Another one. Ah, this is the place where I did some rock climbing. Well, this one looks much more genuine. I seem to be quite happy, at peace somehow. Yeah, I like doing this photo shoot because, or these photo shoots in general, because somehow it's very intense or focused. You know, I spend a lot of my life juggling different things, different activities, and you know, people are always trying to multitask and learn how to multitask better, but in the end, I think it's better to be able to focus on a few things in your life. And when you're doing something, you want to be doing it all the way. You want to be focused 100%, whether you're, you know, doing a math problem or cooking or listening to music. You know, you actually want to listen to that music, not listen to music and type and do whatever else, eat, you know, talk. And that's how I felt in these photo shoots. And plus, it's like making art is something I love to do. I don't have time, I guess. I haven't made the time because there are other things that I love to do. And my parents are both mathematicians, so I've been pushed in that more academic direction. But I love to do art. And though I haven't had time to do it myself very much, this is one of the primary reasons why I've started doing these photo shoots, is to be with artists. I mean, to be with Kevin is great because I get to talk about art and listen mostly about the art projects that he's working on, and it's really wonderful. And this way I can be part of art projects even if I'm not the primary. I mean, the photographer is the one who designs the scenes and takes the picture ultimately, but I get to be a part of it somehow, and you know, I can contribute a lot if I do my job well. This one I like this one a lot. I find myself looking at my feet in all these pictures. My feet, you know, holding onto the rocks and stuff. I like that. Yeah, and then I climbed up this wall all the way up there, using my rock climbing skills, which was fun. Yeah. I mean, one thing with looking at these pictures, you know, I feel kind of vain. Maybe this whole picture-taking experience is just me indulging some vanity, you know, because I've recently, you know, been so busy with work, like I haven't really, you know, received a lot of compliments because I haven't been going out with men to give me compliments. So I guess I felt some, you know, I don't know. It's nice to be able to feel not even beautiful, but just because, I mean, I don't think one human is more beautiful than another. I mean, this is something, you know, I like art that portrays beautiful people and, you know, objectively or conventionally we would call them less beautiful. But I mean, I look at them and, you know, what is beautiful about someone? Like, if you take away the whole like sexiness, you know, it's more about someone's emotion, someone's attitude, someone's personality that makes them beautiful. And anyone can be beautiful if you know, the photographer's job may sometimes be to capture people's personality in one photograph or some emotion that they had. And that isn't dependent on what how sexually attractive they are, you know. Anyway, it was nice to feel beautiful and part of art. And there's one more. Oh, in fact, here I am climbing. Oh, actually, there are 2 more. This is a good one. I look so white. I hope the climbers will be impressed at my sweet moves, climbing up the wall in nature. Yeah. Well, I don't see any poison ivy in this picture, so I don't think that's where I got it. Yeah, I got some poison ivy on this photo shoot. And obviously, since I wasn't wearing anything, I got it pretty bad. I'd never gotten poison ivy before, and poison ivy is strange, right? Because you want to itch, and it feels so good to itch. I mean, it's almost something you want, but it's so frustrating at the same time because it's like you can never reach fulfillment from that itch. It feels good, but it's never finished, you know. And then if you itch too much, then it starts to hurt or whatever, you know. And plus I was worried I'd get some scars if I itched too much, although I used some vitamin E oil that now it's basically gone. I have no scars, which is good. But it was quite an experience getting that poison ivy. And I think from now on I'm gonna actually know what the plant looks like and not get it again. I mean, it's one of those experiences, like this past summer I tore my ACL, even though I knew that tearing my ACL was I had a high probability of that happening to me because I was a Frisbee player, ultimate Frisbee, and both of my parents had torn their ACL, but I still kind of neglected to do the exercises, and so eventually I tore my ACL. And, but you know, now I'm never gonna tear my ACL again. I mean, I'm going to do the exercises, I'm going to take all the preventative measures. And these are, sometimes we have to learn things the hard way, and so I don't feel unhappy about, obviously I was unhappy to tear my ACL at first, but in the long run, you don't remember the bad things that happen to you. You take the lessons from them and you remember all the positive things. This is a thought that I developed when I was a freshman in college, and I was kind of depressed. You know, I thought, oh man, what's the point of life? Why should I do one thing over another? I mean, anyway, the point is I was very unhappy, but I realized that if I think to my past, I don't think about all the bad things that happened to me. I think about all the good things in my life. I think about all my friends that I knew, and you know, there may be some nostalgia and not having those people anymore, but I like to remember, even if it feels nostalgic, and nostalgia is kind of a bittersweet feeling. I like to indulge in that, and therefore I decided as a freshman that life was definitely worth living, because you know, even if I spent 10 years being unhappy and then 1 year being happy, you know, at the end of those 11 years, I would remember that last year the most, because that was the one I wanted to. I mean, we have selective memory. It's in our evolutionary traits to remember the positive things to make us happy. And anyway, I don't know how I got onto that thread. Oh yeah, I was talking about the poison ivy and how it was a positive experience and I was never going to get poison ivy again. Well, I'm sure I will at some point, but I'll try not to. All right, and we have one more picture. This is one at the similar scene to the first one, but there's a different, I have a slightly different expression going on there. Wow, I look strong. I've been working basically as a construction worker, although in a very high-tech place. But I have done a lot of heavy lifting recently, so my arms are much stronger than they used to be, you know. Yeah, the expression there is much more satisfying. And again, my foot looks like Gollum's foot, you know, very spindly. I can spread my toes really wide. This is cool. Yeah, I remember standing on this chair and holding onto this wall was pretty difficult. That's why my foot looks so gripping, because I was in fact having a difficult time staying up there. I like the way my hands look. I think you can do so much with hands. I mean, they're some of the most versatile parts of our body. You can make all kinds of shapes with them that look so interesting from so many different angles. Yeah. I mean, hands are, in fact, if you think about medicine, they don't really understand how to prevent arthritis in your hands, or, I've heard that the hand doctors are, in fact, some of the most intelligent ones, because it's so difficult. There's so many moving parts in someone's hand. I think it'd be interesting to just take pictures of hands. And in fact, I think I've heard that, some painters just never get the hang of hands. So they just hide them in pockets or things like that. Yeah. Well, these are very beautiful. I want to compare the last one and the first one. They're both of the same scene. From slightly different angles. Cool. Yeah, I like this one, except that you can see my ribs too much. I'm worried that it makes me look too skinny. But these are the worries of a vain girl. But, some people tell me I'm too skinny, but, I eat a lot of food, so it's not my fault, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm very happy to have started this new hobby of modeling for photographers. I think I was talking about this earlier, the most interesting thing that I'm getting out of it is being around artists. The rest of my social circles are all academics, like scientific academics. So it's nice to talk to people who think about beautiful things. And although, I have to say that mathematicians also have an appreciation for beauty, and my father also likes, he creates these, when he's doing math problems, often there's some mathematical picture that comes with it. You can graph it in some way or represent it with little squares. I don't know. There's all kinds of things. And sometimes when he sees something beautiful, he'll take it to the extreme, actually develop the mathematical image into something beautiful. And he has all these pictures on his website that are basically math art. Some of them are animations. There's one called The Dance, where there's a bunch of dots that obviously represent some equation, and they come together and go apart, and it does look like dancing. And so my father, despite being a mathematician, definitely has a sense of artistic images, and so, I have a lot of respect for my father. I don't know, I haven't told him, or really anyone, that I started this hobby. I told two of my friends, my female friends. I'd like to tell my mother and my father, but I don't actually really want them to see me nude. I don't know, that's not the kind of relationship we have. So it would be strange to tell them and then not be able to show them the pictures. But my female friends I can show this to, and they can appreciate the art. And I'm not embarrassed to show them me, because, we are natural women. We can be nude around each other. But yeah. In fact, the first person I told is the biggest hippie that I know. So I wasn't at all worried about telling her. I could easily imagine her doing this as well. And yeah, I'm going to recommend that. Well, maybe she and I will go out and take some pictures. Even though neither of us are skilled photographers yet, I'm sure we could do something interesting. Yeah, because that's the other thing. When these 2 photo shoots that I've done, I have since I've done art before, I have all these ideas in my head for how I want the picture to look. When I'm posing there, I don't know what I look like. I'm posing, but I have an idea of what I look like from, I've looked at myself in the mirror before. And with that idea of what I look like, I also imagine how I would frame it somehow with the camera and how I would use the trees and the cross and the wall, but I'm not the one holding the camera. So I wish I could simultaneously be the model and the photographer, have a little double view so I could control both. But this is why you have to develop a good relationship with your photographer so they can, you can understand what they want or what they're trying to create at a given moment, and once you understand that, you can help them create it, and you can contribute back towards them. It's a back and forth process. So, yeah. Well, do you have any other questions, Kevin?
Which one would you like?
Let's see. All right, let me rank them. Well, so not this one. Not this one, unfortunately. I mean, I like some aspects of it. Maybe, yeah. Okay, and these 2. I like this one, but you can't see my face, so I'm not going to pick that one for now. So that leaves the 2 couch ones. This one's cool, but not sure why. Well, let's see. One of these 2. Maybe. I think maybe the top one I like. Yeah, I think this is the one I'm going to choose. Even though you can see my ribs a lot. Yeah, I mean, I imagine that if I was just coming upon this picture, having not had the experience of making it, I'd wonder, where is this? What's going on? It's kind of mystifying. Why is she climbing the walls? What is she trying to see? Yeah, I'm going to choose that one. Yeah. Well, this is fun. I'm not sure what else to say. Yeah. I'll get in the box with my picture.